Hi everyone, this is Rayon Paper. Welcome to another video. I have pens, I have inks, I have pens in ink. No wait, that would be quite the mess. I have inks and pens, there we go. November currently inked. I haven't done a currently inked in quite a few months. I just checked and my last one was for June. The last couple months have been quite hectic with looking for a new house, buying the house, selling our house, having to, make sure everything looks presentable for like house viewings, which means that I constantly can't find my stuff. I haven't had a lot of time to play with my pens and inks to write. But I feel like everything is slowly starting to settle down. We are just sort of in this waiting mode now until we get the keys of our new house in January. So for the last 2 months of the year, I feel like I can really, get back into enjoying my pens and making sure I, finish what I need to finish and be ready for the new year. But for now, it is just a November currently inked. I have 8 pens. Are these 8? Yes, 8. And I'm just going to put these to the side and I'm going to start. The first pen is this Benu Daily Mate. I acquired this one somewhere just before summer, I think. I bought it on sale. I had this one on my wish list for quite a while, but hadn't gotten around to picking it up yet. It is a great writer. One thing that kind of surprised me when I first unboxed it is that there's this sort of greenish tint to the shimmer particles that are like suspended in this resin. It's a little hard to explain, and I feel like I'd never seen that on camera before when looking at this pen, with other people. But it's a really lovely pen. I got it with a fine nib, but then I switched the nib to a TWSBI extra fine nib, and this nib is so great. I was very lucky with this nib. It's fantastic. So let's just write that down here. Oh yeah, the ink that I put in here. So this month has been all about samples. I don't think I have a single ink in a pen that I have a bottle of. I'm just, kind of working through some of my, especially older samples that I've had for quite a while. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to do a complete, full inking of this sample before, the sample maybe turns bad or I'm just end up not using it. So that's what I based the colors and the inks off. There's not a really specific theme or color palette or anything going on. This combination is quite autumnal. The ink that I got in here is Berlin Notebook Fox number 6. So that is my Benu Daily Mate Relaxing Sunday with an extra fine nib inked with Berlin Notebook Fox number 6. The second pen that I have inked up is this gorgeous pen that I got from Loved Pens in the UK. It is the Highworth model, and the color is called the Tiger's Eye Stripe. And I love this pen. This is the perfect pen for autumn. It has all these autumn colors going on. It is just gorgeous. I love the fact that all of the different color segments have kind of a different amount of sort of glitter going on, of chatoyance going on. So it's a very like dynamic pen. It's beautiful. I have inked this one up with Inkabara Alice Red. The ink is sort of a little bit more unsaturated, on the unsaturated side. It's more orange leaning than Fox number 6. I feel like both of them sort of satisfy my craving for a red ink in autumn, but they're both really different and they're lovely to combine on the same page or to match to, any kind of decoration, something like that. Then I realized that I don't really have anything yellowish inked up for November, which is quite unusual for me. But my next pen and ink combination is this fantastic Tibaldi Bononia in the Martini Olive colorway. This was one of the first more expensive pens that I got when I was looking for something olive colored. And this pen has been fantastic. It has a really nice extra fine nib that kind of feels like a specialty grind, even though it's not. And I have inked this one with Inkabara Deer Brown, and I love this ink so much that it may be going on my full bottle wish list. It is a sort of poopy, greenish, yellowish brown. I'm not sure if you could hear the noise outside just now, but it is bin collection day. Then we have this Asvine C80 in the green glitter colorway. Really beautiful pen, really comfortable to hold. It has a great nib. It has an extra fine nib as well. No surprises there. The only thing with this pen, and if you have this same model in your collection, please let me know if you have a similar experience. When I uncap this, the inside of the cap has this really, really chemical-like smell. It's really strong, and I don't know what that is. I have had this inked up for, I think, 2 months now. It hasn't really gone away, the smell. It hasn't worsened, but it's just like it's really strong. Not really pleasant, and I'm hoping that over time it'll just kind of fade. And I've inked this one up with Baroque Minze, or mint in German. Nice ink, but doesn't really have that wow factor. It performs well. It's neither dry nor wet. It's a good ink, but not my favorite in that color family. So that was the Esvine C80 in green glitter with Baroque Minze. Then we have one of my favorite pens, but one that I've been quite unlucky in terms of the inks that I paired with it. And I finally have an ink in it that actually really performs really well. This is my Twisby Eco in the indigo and bronze color, inked with Inkabara Petrol Dark. And the thing is, this nib is super wet. So I finally found an ink that isn't too wet, which just makes for a really good combination. In terms of color, it's nice, but it has this sort of, on certain papers, it has this sort of chromo shade to kind of an not too pretty green, where the teal color of the ink, I don't know, just gets kind of overshadowed by this weird green. Hard to describe, but that is just like not really my favorite. In writing, it looks fine most of the time. But for now, I'm mostly just really enjoying the writing experience with this pen and ink combination. Then we have this pen, which was an acquisition from AliExpress. I was really curious about the look of the pen, and just the kind of colors that it has. This is the Mahjong New Moon 2. I've also seen it called the D-like, which is also like what's debossed on the engraved on the center band. I'm always a little bit confused with these Chinese names, their transliterations, their translations, and just, all the names that you see online. I've just been calling this the Mahjong New Moon 2, and the colorway is called Blue Moon. I think on AliExpress it was called Blue Wheel or Ice Wheel or something like that. But when I just like dropped the Chinese characters into Google Translate, it said Blue Moon, which made a lot more sense in my head than Ice Wheel, so just went with that. And I've inked this with one of the most boring inks on the planet, and that is Diamine Royal Blue. However, the experience has actually been really nice. I think the thing is that I've just been kind of avoiding these sort of royal blue inks for so long that my tolerance for them has really grown, and I actually quite like them now. So that is the Majon New Moon 2 with a Diamine Royal Blue. Then we have a bit of an older carryover, but I thought I would just include it in this currently inked anyways. This is the Sailor Prophet Junior in the light gray color with a medium fine nib. That writes like an extra fine, let's be honest. And the ink that I have in here is Baroque Caviar. And I don't know, it's been... Ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all. It looks like this nib is a little bit moldy. Well, I'm not gonna write that, and I'm gonna clean this really, really well. Huh. Interesting. Well, I was gonna say about the ink that I think it's quite a unique color, but I don't particularly love it. It's a very unsaturated purple, but it's like so unsaturated that it doesn't really feel like a purple anymore. Not my favorite. It wrote really nicely in the pen, and luckily it was just a sample and also not a really expensive pen, so I'm just gonna throw out the last of the sample and clean it really well and hope that I haven't contaminated anything. Huh. Okay, that's a first. Then the last pen is this Just Earnings Mimes in the Fafnir color, which has all these gorgeous shades of purple. And I've inked this one with a sample from the from an older Diamine Inkvent calendar, and that is Deck the Halls, which has this sort of reddish purple undertone and a gorgeous chameleon shimmer. This is not going too well. I feel like the shimmer may have clogged the nib a little bit because it definitely should be a little bit more wet than this. No, I think I'm gonna need a little bit of paper towel for that. I don't know. I believe this is the first time I'm having a shimmer ink in this pen. Normally my Diamine shimmers don't really clog my pens, especially not my Yofo nibs. But this one doesn't seem to behave too well right now. Well, at least there's no mold. All right. Let's just finish here. So these are the pens and inks for the month of November. I'm really happy with these pens and inks, except for the moldy Sailor. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. Otherwise, lovely colors, and I thought that they didn't go too well together, but actually looking at this color palette, it looks quite nice, and it kind of explains why I haven't had any trouble picking a ink to go with like any decoration on a page. It's just quite a nice color palette. So thank you for watching, and thank you for witnessing my moldy nib with me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.